Do you care about age? Think about, like, oh, I'm going to be 90. Does that matter to you?
I don't think about it. Jesus, who the hell want to live this long?
Did you know that Clint Eastwood, the rugged star of the silver screen, is leaving behind a fortune that's more than just jaw-dropping numbers? As his family faces this unexpected legacy, emotions run deep. It's not just the wealth that has them in tears. It's the powerful imprint Clint has left on their hearts. What's behind this fortune, and how will it change everything they thought they knew? Humble beginnings and early steps. Clint Eastwood was born in 1930 in San Francisco, but he didn't grow up in a fancy home. His family didn't have a lot of money and they didn't know any celebrities. Instead, they lived a simple life. But Clint had big dreams. Even though his family wasn't rich, he decided to try acting, which was a very big goal for someone with no connections in the entertainment world. He didn't become famous overnight, though. Clint began his acting career in the 1950s, but it wasn't until 1971 that his big break came. That's when he played the tough, no-nonsense detective Harry Callahan in Dirty Harry. This role was a game changer. It made Clint a household name and helped him start making serious money. Clint's first major role was in 1958 on a TV show called Rawhide. At first, he didn't earn much, only $750 per episode. Even though this was a decent amount at the time, it wasn't anything extraordinary. But as Rawhide grew in popularity, Clint's salary grew too. By the time the show ended, Clint was earning a massive $119,000 per episode, which was a lot of money, especially back then. This was proof that Clint was becoming a star and that people wanted to see him on screen. In 1964, Clint made a bold choice that changed everything. He starred in an Italian film called A Fistful of Dollars. The film's budget was small, and Clint was paid just $15,000. It wasn't a huge paycheck, but the film turned out to be a big hit. This movie launched Clint into international fame, and it made him a recognized name all around the world. After that, his next movie, for a few dollars more, paid him $50,000. But things really took off with his next role in 1966's The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, where Clint earned $250,000, way more than he had been paid for his earlier movies. That year, he also took a smaller role in a movie called Le Streghe, The Witches, adding another $20,000 to his growing earnings. His success in these films showed that Clint was becoming a major player in Hollywood, especially when it came to westerns, a genre that would be closely linked to his name for many years. By 1968, Clint was ready to take things to the next level. He starred in the film Hang 'Em High, but this time Clint was more than just the actor. He negotiated a smart deal where he earned $400,000 up front and, most importantly, 25% of the movie's net box office profits. This was a game-changing move for Clint. It showed he understood the business side of Hollywood. Around the same time, Clint signed a $1 million contract with Universal Studios, which helped solidify his place as a top actor in Hollywood. He also earned $750,000 for his role in Where Eagles Dare. These deals weren't just about Clint being an actor. They were about him becoming a shrewd businessman. In the 1970s and 80s, Clint Eastwood was one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. His career kept climbing, and his salary went through the roof. In 1978, Clint made a whopping $12 million for Every Which Way But Loose. This was a huge amount of money and proved just how much Hollywood loved Clint. He didn't stop there, though. In 1984, he earned $5 million for City Heat, and Clint's ability to pull in big paychecks became the norm. But Clint's career wasn't just about acting. He started to branch out into directing and producing, which made him even more money. He wasn't just in front of the camera anymore. He was also calling the shots behind the scenes. In 1993, Clint starred in The Line of Fire, which earned him $7 million for his role. By this point, Clint had become much more than just an actor. He had turned into a financial powerhouse. From making movies that people loved to taking smart risks that paid off, Clint had become one of the most successful stars in Hollywood history. What started as a young man with big dreams and no famous connections had turned into a Hollywood legend. Clint Eastwood worked hard, made smart choices, and never stopped pushing himself. From earning just $750 per episode on Rawhide to making millions for his movies, Clint proved that if you dream big, work hard, and know how to make the right deals, you can achieve incredible things, even if you start with nothing. His story isn't just about fame. It's about how hard work, perseverance, and good decisions can change everything. Music and personal interests. Clint Eastwood is good at more than just playing and directing. He loved music from a very young age and often played the boogie-woogie piano. He put out a record called Cowboy Favorites in 1963. Clint kept playing live, and at rodeos and fairs, he could make up to $15,000 per show, but it didn't make him a music star. He loved music so much that it affected his son, Kyle Eastwood, who later became a jazz musician. Clint is smart about business, and he also knows how to win court cases. In 2021, he had to deal with a company in Lithuania that used his picture to promote CBD goods without his permission. The company faked interviews and even made a fake story that looked like it was from the Today Show and featured Clint. Because Clint wanted to protect his name, he went to court and sued several companies. In the end, he got a $6.1 million payment and a permanent order that said no one could ever use his name without his permission again. Many of Clint Eastwood's riches come from the smart money he has made in the stock market. He has put about 20% of his money, or $75 million, into stocks over the years. Apple, with about $15 million in shares, ExxonMobil, $8 million, and Walmart, $4 million, are some of the best-performing brands in his portfolio. He also has shares in MasterCard, McDonald's, Tesla, and Alphabet, Google's parent company. This shows that he is comfortable putting money on big companies in a lot of different areas. Another smart move by Clint was to invest in the Pebble Beach Company. This company owns famous golf courses, hotels, and restaurants, such as the Pebble Beach golf links. Clint bought a piece of the company for $2 million per share in 1999 with other partners, such as the famous golfer Arnold Palmer. The $820 million that the group invested paid off very well. Each share was worth 4 times as much by 2020, showing the great return on investment. After the Dollars trilogy did well in 1967, Clint used some of the money he made to start Malpaso Productions. The production company has been very important to his continued success because it gives him more artistic freedom and helps him make the most money from his projects. Clint Eastwood's $375 million fortune has been built up in large part by this business. It shows that his legacy goes far beyond his acting jobs. Clint has built an empire that will last for generations through acting, directing, producing, and smart business choices. Clint Eastwood's production business has a personal touch. It was named after Malpaso Creek, which flows through his land in Monterey County, California. Clint's career took a big step forward when Malpaso Productions gave him power over the films he worked on, not just as an actor but also as a director and producer. For Malpaso, Clint could choose the projects he believed in and make money from every part of making the movie, not just acting pay. The company has made many of Clint's well-known films over the years, such as Unforgiven, $1 Million Baby, Gran Torino, and American Sniper. The company let him try out different types of films, from westerns and war plays to thrillers and biopics. Awards and legacy in film. Clint Eastwood has directed more than 30 films. For Unforgiven and $1 Million Baby, he won 2 Oscars. Malpaso Productions is a steady source of income thanks to many great projects. Its value goes up every time a new movie comes out. Clint's business in real estate is just as impressive as his work in movies. He owns a large house in Carmel by the Sea, California, which was built when he was 80 years old. The property is about 15,949 square feet and is worth about $20 million. It has beautiful views of the Pacific Ocean and shows Clint's strong connection to nature and attention to detail. In Bel Air, Los Angeles, Clint owns a Spanish-style home that was built by builder Paul McLean. This beautiful house is about 6,136 square feet and costs about $30 million. It has stunning views of the city and a mix of classic and modern design. The fact that Clint owns Rising River Ranch near Casell, California, shows how much he values peace and nature. This 1,067.5-acre property is a peaceful getaway with lots of open space, making it the perfect place to get away from the liveliness of Hollywood. Clint owns a 700-square-foot home in Sun Valley, Idaho, which is outside of California. The home is on 12 acres of beautiful land. The house has beautiful views of the mountains and woods nearby, and Marilyn Monroe starred in the 1956 movie Bus Stop, which was filmed there. It's on the market for $16 million right now, and Clint loves houses with history and character. Clint has a 1.5-acre home on Maui, Hawaii, that is right next to the ocean. With its beautiful beaches and lush landscapes, this holiday spot is both cheap and relaxing, a real piece of paradise for Clint. Clint also has a big stake in Pebble Beach golf links. This isn't just an investment in real estate, it's also a good way to make money with one of the best golf grounds in the world. Clint and his friends, who included Arnold Palmer, put $20 million into the Pebble Beach Company in 1999. As of right now, each of their shares is worth more than $8 million. Classic car collection. Clint Eastwood is just as passionate about old cars as he is about movies. Clint's collection of cars shows how much he loves stylish and strong rides. Each one is a piece of automotive history. His 1972 Ford Gran Torino, which was in the movie Gran Torino, is one of the most famous cars he owns. After shooting was over, Clint kept the green, powerful muscle car, and it is still a symbol of American car pride. A 1966 Ferrari 275 GTB was given to Clint as a gift after he played a part in The Witches. The car is worth about $1.7 million and has a strong V12 engine. One of the things that makes him stand out is his $475K 1974 Ferrari 365 GT4 Berlinetta Boxer. Its performance and sleek appearance show that Clint likes Italian craftsmanship. Clint has more than just sports cars in his collection. He has a 1955 Cadillac Eldorado Series 62 convertible that is worth about $125,000. He bought this car after getting married to his first wife, Maggie Johnson, so it's a special feature. He has a lot of different likes as shown by his 1977 Pontiac Special Edition Trans Am with its famous Golden Firebird decal and his 1937 Lincoln K-Series convertible. To his mostly American collection, Clint also has a 1966 Morris Mini Countryman Cooper S, which gives it a bit of British charm. Clint's garage has room for everything, even newer ideas. He has an electric car called a 2014 Fiat 500e and a rare high-performance SUV called a 1993 GMC Typhoon. Clint owns the Mission Ranch Hotel and Restaurant in Carmel by the Sea, which shows that he values history and real estate. In the 1980s, this ancient building was going to be torn down to make room for condos. Clint stepped in, bought it, and brought it back to its former glory. This shows how dedicated he is to saving history and leaving lasting legacies. The land that Clint Eastwood once owned is now a cute resort with 31 rooms, a restaurant, and even sheep roaming in the fields outside. There's no doubt that Clint Eastwood has left a lasting mark on the world through his family, his charity work, and his movies. People and fans are interested in who will receive his wealth and how he plans to give it to them now that he's getting older. Because Clint Eastwood has a big, varied family, his money may be split up in different ways after he dies. Clint has 8 kids: Lori, Kimber, Kyle, Allison, Scott, Catherine, Francesca, and Morgan. Some of his kids are actors, singers, or artists, and some have followed him into the entertainment business. He has built ties with all of his children. Some are more well-known than others, but it's clear that family is very important to him. It seems reasonable that Clint's legacy would be to take care of his children so they can continue to live comfortably or follow their dreams. There is talk that Clint's will may include money to help his children with their careers, whether they are in singing, music, or something else. Each of his children has their own special skills. It's already known that Allison and Scott are good actors, and they could carry on Clint's Hollywood heritage. Clint's children could get his money directly or through trusts that spread it out over time. This would keep the value of his estate high. It's not easy to take care of the estate of a famous person, especially one as well known as Clint Eastwood. Because of their big, complicated estates and constant public attention, celebrities often face problems that no one else does. Clint probably has a group of lawyers and financial experts who have worked together to make a thorough estate plan to make sure everything goes as planned. Rich people's estate plans usually include both wills and trusts to make sure their assets are distributed the way they want them to be and to keep things private and out of court. Clint lives in California, which does not have state transfer taxes. However, federal estate taxes may still apply. A will can help Clint's family avoid arguments by making his wishes clear ahead of time. Trusts are especially helpful for famous people because they let them skip the divorce process, which can take a long time and be public. So heirs can get their inheritance more directly and secretly, which makes it less likely that family members will fight. For someone like Clint, who has kept a lot of his life secret, how his estate is handled could have a big effect on how people remember him. A clear and well-thought-out estate plan can stop most of these problems. However, media attention can spread rumors and lead to mistakes. The media likes to speculate about how famous people's families work, but Clint's closeness to his children may make that less likely. Using trusts and other private methods to handle Clint's wealth could keep the public from seeing too much of his family. There are many cases of how celebrity estates can become a problem if the right plans are not made. For example, neither Aretha Franklin nor Prince had well-organized wills, which caused years of family arguments and court fees that drained their estates. Public fights hurt not only the families, but also the value of the farms. Michael Jackson, on the other hand, used trusts to keep a lot of his wealth private and under control. Clint Eastwood probably learned something from these cases, which shows how important it is to have a well-thought-out will that protects his family and keeps public disputes to a minimum. Clint Eastwood has long been a supporter of good causes such as schooling, helping veterans, and protecting the environment. He has given money to groups like the Monterey Peninsula Foundation, which holds the ATAN-DT Pebble Beach Pro-Am every year, and gives the money to causes in Monterey County. Clint has a history of giving to charity, so it wouldn't be a surprise if he leaves some of his money to charity in his will. A lot of famous people use their estates to keep giving, and some even start their own charitable organizations. Clint might want to leave some of his money to charities that help causes that are important to him. By giving money to charities or starting a foundation, Clint can make sure that his gifts continue to make a difference after he is gone. How Clint Eastwood is known in the future will depend on how his will and estate are set up. Donating a big chunk of his wealth to charity would show how generous he was and might improve his public memory. People might think of him not only as a Hollywood star, but also as a generous person. If he thoughtfully provides for his children and other family members in his will, it will show how much he values family and personal ties. Clint could leave his money to family members to manage, or he could set up trusts to help certain causes or goals. Trusts are flexible, so Clint can decide how his estate is handled. With trusts, he can make sure that his money goes to support his children's jobs, invest in the arts, or support charitable causes just the way he wants it to. Many of Clint's children work in the theater and arts, so they may pick up some of his love for making things. They might be able to use their inheritance to pay for films, music, or other projects that carry on Clint's work in the business. Clint Eastwood's heritage is made up of many years of work in Hollywood, close family ties, and generous donations to charity. Even though it will be private, his will probably show these beliefs. If Clint has made clear plans for his family and chosen causes, it may help keep the peace and make sure his money is used the way he wanted. What Clint does with his fortune will have an impact not only on his family, but also on everyone in the world. Clint's effect on charitable causes will continue long after he stops working. He will also continue to support his children in their endeavors. Clint Eastwood has already made a huge impact on movie history. The choices he makes about his estate may have even more of an effect on people in and out of his family in the future. People will remember his skill, hard work, and kindness, and they will shape his story for years to come. Clint Eastwood's legacy extends beyond his legendary films. His incredible fortune reflects a lifetime of success, passion, and resilience. His family's tears are those of pride and remembrance. Like and subscribe for more stories of Hollywood's most enduring icons.